Welcome. We're going to begin today in a child's pose. Your knees are going to be as wide as they feel comfortable for you. You're going to bring your toes together behind you. Your arms are going to stretch out in front of you as you drop your chest and forehead down towards the mat. Taking deep breaths here. Notice how you're feeling. Tune in to the present moment. As you take those deep breaths, notice any thoughts that may be racing through your mind slowly start to drift away, trying to just become the observer of those breaths as we focus on our body and focus on the breath moving through our body. Starting with our first affirmation of the practice today. You can say this out loud to yourself, you could whisper it to yourself, or you could just say it in your mind, whatever you feel comfortable with. Just repeating this to yourself. I hold space for myself in this healing process. I hold space for myself in this healing process. We're going to gently transition ourselves into a downward facing dog here. You're going to start to push your hips up towards the ceiling. Your heels are drawing down towards the earth. But being really generous to yourself here, because we've just started moving out, this downward facing dog can feel a bit tight. So bending your knees, protecting the lower back, giving yourself a little bit more space here. Finding a nice deep breath, making sure that you're comfortable here. Repeating the words, I am grateful for the lessons that guilt has taught me. I am grateful for the lessons that guilt has taught me. Together we'll just take 2 tiny little steps in closer to our hands, but not much, so really tiny steps, so that we can reach with our right hand to the outside of the left leg, coming into a twisted downward facing dog. Still breathing deeply, our gaze underneath that left arm. Repeating to yourself, I forgive myself and others for the pain that has been caused. I forgive myself and others for the pain that has been caused. With your exhale, you'll release that right hand back to the mat as you take your left hand now to the outside of the right thigh, your gaze underneath that right arm. Repeating now, I choose to let go of the past and move on with my life. I choose to let go of the past and move on with my life. your next exhale, releasing that twist. You'll then step your right foot in between your hands and drop the back knee, coming into a low lunge. Keeping the chest low though, you're going to plant the left hand into the mat, and as you inhale, reach the right hand up towards the sky, finding a gentle twisted low lunge here. Really reaching with the right fingertips up towards the sky. Finding length in the spine, open the heart, saying to yourself here, as I forgive, I grow strong. As I forgive, I grow strong. As you exhale, drop the hand back down towards the mat. And you're going to step that right foot back into downward facing dog. Going to switch sides, taking the left foot in between the hands, drop the back knee, finding that low lunge. Root your right hand into the mat this time as the left hand reaches for the sky. Open the heart, lengthen the spine, breathe deep. Saying to yourself, I release any and all deep-rooted guilt. I release any and all deep-rooted guilt. With an exhale, release the hand down towards the mat. And we're going to step right back into that downward facing dog. Bending your knees, looking to the top of the mat, we're going to step into a forward fold at the top of the mat. Bending your knees generously, we're going to roll really slowly, one vertebrae after another, up to find ourselves at the standing pose at the top of the mat. When we get to the top of the mat, you're going to open up your stance as wide as you feel comfortable, setting ourselves up for a wide-legged forward fold. Your toes are pointing to the front. You're finding length in the spine, standing up tall. As you inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, hands to your hips and start to hinge from the hips into a forward fold. When you feel comfortable, release the arms, shake out the head if you'd like, letting go of tension in the neck and the shoulders. Letting the breath move through your body with ease. Saying to yourself here, I no longer feel guilty for doing what is best for me. I no longer feel guilty for doing what is best for me. One last time. I no longer feel guilty for doing what is best for me. We'll bring our hands back to our hips, and with a flat back, we'll rise up to stand. And we'll step to the top of the mat again. We'll open up the feet again, but this time just as wide as the mat, so just a little bit wider than hip distance apart, not too wide. Your toes are going to point out slightly this time. Coming in for our Garland pose, we'll inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky, bring the palms together, and as you exhale, sink your hands to your heart and sink your hips to the earth. Your elbows will meet your knees, pressing against the knees to gently open up the hips. Still lengthen the spine, open the heart, as if someone's pulling a string from the top of your head, really finding that length in the spine. Saying to yourself here, I acknowledge that I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. I acknowledge that I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. With your next exhale, supporting yourself with your hands behind you as you find your way to a seated pose. When you get there, extending your legs out entirely. Here we have the option of keeping your knees bent, maybe grabbing a strap, or extending your legs out entirely, coming into a seated forward fold. You'll inhale, find length in the spine, maybe reach the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, start to forward fold, gently bringing your chest towards your thighs, leading from the heart. So you're not rounding the spine, leading with the head. You're leading with the heart, proud chest. Saying to yourself here, I don't always need to please others. I don't always need to please others. Your next inhale, sitting up tall. We're going to now set up for a twist. You'll bring your right knee into your chest. That right foot will go to the outside of your left thigh. And if you'd like, you can bend that bottom knee in to bring that left foot in towards you. You're going to take your right hand behind you for support as you inhale, reach the left hand up, and exhale, wrapping your arm around that right leg. Hugging that knee in, proud chest, open the heart, breathing deeply and saying to yourself here, I release the stories that make me feel small. I release the stories that make me feel small. With your next exhale, gently release, untwist the legs, and we'll take it to the opposite side. So the right leg extends, the left knee comes into your chest this time. You'll take the left foot to the outside of your right thigh, bend the right knee, maybe bringing that right foot in towards you. Your left hand behind you this time to support you. You'll inhale the right arm up and exhale, twist, taking that arm around your left leg, bringing your gaze back behind you. Repeating to yourself, I allow myself to move forward in life. I allow myself to move forward in life. With your next exhale, gently release. Untwist the legs. Make sure you have space behind you so that you can lay back onto the floor here. Bringing your right knee into your chest, your left leg extends out completely. Just taking a moment to hug that knee in, maybe sway your knee side to side slightly. Saying to yourself here, self-compassion encourages me to learn and grow. Self-compassion encourages me to learn and grow. With your exhale, release that right leg, just swapping sides. The left knee comes into your chest as the right leg extends. Grabbing hold of that knee and maybe swaying it gently side to side. You might find that your eyes start to close. Feel free to close those eyes. Let the body relax as you say to yourself here, I can simultaneously give myself grace and accountability. I can simultaneously give myself grace and accountability. Exhale, gently release. Both your arms are going to go out to either side of you. You're going to lift your legs so your calves become parallel to the mat. Your legs are at a 90-degree angle. And then you're going to gently start to drop your knees over towards the right. And your gaze is going to go over towards the left, giving yourself a gentle twist here on the floor. Again, I invite you to close your eyes if they're not already. Release any tension within the body and saying to yourself here, self-forgiveness is a process. I will continue to make small steps towards making peace with my past. Self-forgiveness is a process. I will continue to take small steps towards making peace with my past. With ease, we'll just switch sides, lifting your knees back up and dropping them over to the left as your gaze goes over to the right. Your eyes can be closed here, your body relaxed, affirming to yourself, I am worthy of forgiveness. I am worthy of forgiveness. Carefully, we're going to make our way into our Shavasana, our final pose. Extending your legs out entirely, your arms will come either side of you. Adjust your body so that you're completely comfortable here. Grab any props, any blankets that you'd like, and settle in to our final pose. Coming into our final affirmation as well. Saying to yourself, it is time to release all guilt. I allow myself to soften and relax. It is time to release all guilt. I allow myself to soften and relax. Please stay here for as long as you need. I'm going to leave you here in the Shavasana. I'm honored that you chose to spend this time with me, and I hope I'll see you again soon. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please leave a heart in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell icon so you don't miss out on all my future videos.